paying so much attention, when I was a kid to the design. I can remember drawing cars as a hobby. The car that I was obsessed with was the 930 Turbo. And something about the illustration of like power literally in that car, but it almost has this like feminine kind of design language to it. And that mix always fascinated me. Even though I've worked in all these different mediums, in some ways they don't feel that different, right? So I could be working on a sculpture or a painting, or having a meeting about jersey designs for the Cavs, and in some ways they all feel a little bit the same. The audience is certainly different, but one of the things that I've tried to do in my work in general is to broaden the audience. As I've been building my work and my career, obviously I've engaged things that I felt were a challenge. So scale is certainly one thing. Certain materials are more difficult. Painting is probably the thing that takes longest. The way that I make the paintings, partially because I'm colorblind, I guess, but I had Golden Paints pre-mix me all of the gradients, and I only work in one tonality at a time. So the works are almost like black and white photo with a tint over them, like a sepia or a blue. And the bottles are literally labeled. So I have like 1 through 7 going from darkest to lightest, and I don't have to think about the color variation. If I tried to make a painting of a normal scene in full color, that would be challenging. The artist's job is really to interpret and reveal the kind of unseen in the everyday. There are artists whose interest is really in creating a new universe that is something that doesn't completely exist. My interest is really in creating this like tangential world over here that does exist within our everyday life, and it's just slightly off. I find that this place, like the idea of the uncanny, something that that's super familiar, but like something's not quite right with it. This is really an area that can have pretty profound effects, like viscerally on people, especially when they think they know something and they approach it that way initially, and then they're like, well, it looks like it's falling apart, but actually maybe it's forming together, and you're just confused. And that confusion is like a perfect place where that's actually where the art kind of resides.